Let's multiply complex numbers. The main thing to remember is right here. We want to always remember that I squared should always be simplified to -1. So we have 2i times -3 plus 4i. So we're going to distribute the multiplication, get 2i times -3, which will give us -6i, plus distribute here, and we get a positive 2i times a positive 4i, which is 2 times 4, 8 times I squared. I squared is replaced with a -1, so we have -6i minus 8, and our final answer must be in a plus bi form, so it's -8 minus 6 times I. Next one, parenthesis, -1 plus 5i to the second power. Now remember, you cannot distribute the second power across addition or subtraction. You can only distribute it across multiplication. So instead, we use a definition of raising any base to the second power. We multiply it by itself. Now we're ready to FOIL. First times first gives me -1 times -1, which is +1. Product of the outers, -1 times 5i is -5i. Product of the inners, +5i times a -1 is -5i. Last times last is +5i times +5i is a +5i squared. Now 5i squared is 5i times 5i, so that's going to give us 25i squared. Over here we have like terms in the middle. We're going to combine those. -5i minus 5i gives me a total of -10 and then that 25i squared, we're going to replace the I squared with -1. So this is really 25 times -1, and that gives us -1 minus 10i. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, where did that negative sign come from? Get rid of that guy. He appeared from nowhere. Get rid of him. Okay, that's going to change our answer. All right, so we have 1 minus 10i minus 25. So we got 1 minus 25 is -24. -24 minus 10i. That's A plus BI form. And we're finished with that one. Now let's go to this one. We're going to have to scroll left. We have 9 minus 2i times 9 plus I. I got really excited here. I said, oh my goodness, they're conjugates. Two terms that differ only by the sign in the middle. So we're going to use this formula. I'll scroll and show you. A minus B times A plus B is equal to A squared minus B squared. Okay, apply that to this problem. We have 9 squared minus parenthesis 2i squared. That's a squared minus b squared. 9 squared, 9 times 9 is 81. Then the minus sign. 2i squared is 2i times 2i. So that equals 81 minus 4i squared. But I squared is the same as -1. So that's really 81 minus a -4, which equals 81 plus 4, and our final answer is 85.